The next day, Tom appeared on the sidewalk with a bucket of whitewash and a long-handled brush. He surveyed the fence, and all gladness left him, and a deep melancholy settled down upon his spirit. 30 yards of board fence, 9 feet high. Life to him seemed hollow, and existence but a burden. But at this dark and hopeless moment, an inspiration burst upon him. Nothing less than a great, magnificent inspiration. He took up his brush and went tranquilly to work, for Ben Rogers hove in sight presently, the very boy of all boys whose ridicule he had been dreading. Ben stared a moment and then said,
"Ha ha, you're up a stump, ain't you?"
Tom stuck to his work.
"You got to work, hey?"
Tom wheeled suddenly.
"Why, it's you, Ben. I weren't noticing. Say, I'm a-going a-swimming, I am. Don't you wish you could? But of course you'd rather work, wouldn't you? Of course you would."
Tom contemplated the boy a bit.
"What do you call work?" "Why, ain't that work?" "Well, maybe it is, maybe it ain't. All I know is it suits Tom Sawyer." "Oh, come now. You don't mean to let on that you like it." "Well, I don't see why I oughtn't to like it. Does a boy get a chance to whitewash a fence every day?"
That put the thing in a new light. Tom swept his brush daintily back and forth, stepped back to note the effect, added a touch here and there. Ben watched every move, getting more and more interested, more and more absorbed.
"Say, Tom, let me whitewash a little."
Tom considered, was about to consent, but he altered his mind.
No, I reckon it wouldn't hardly do, Ben. You see, Aunt Polly's awful particular about this fence. Right here on the street, you know. But if it was the back fence, I wouldn't mind, and she wouldn't. Yes, she's awful particular about this fence. It's got to be done very careful. I reckon there ain't one boy in 1,000, maybe 2,000, that can do it the way it's got to be done." "Oh, come now. Let me just try. Only just a little. I'd let you if you was me, Tom." "Ben, I'd like to, honest Injun. But Aunt Polly, if you was to tackle this fence and anything was to happen to it, "Oh, shucks. I'll be just as careful. Now let me try. Say, I'll give you the core of my apple." "Well, here." "No, Ben, now don't. I'll give you all of it."
Tom gave up the brush with reluctance in his face, but alacrity in his heart. And while the late steamer Big Missouri worked and sweated in the sun, the retired artist sat on a barrel in the shade close by, dangled his legs, munched on his apple, and planned the slaughter of more innocents. There was no lack of material. Boys happened along every little while. They came to jeer, but remained to whitewash. By the time Ben was fagged out, Tom had traded the next chance to Billy Fisher for a kite, in good repair. And when he played out, Johnny Miller bought in for a dead rat, and a string to swing it with. And so on, hour after hour. And when the middle of the afternoon came, from being a poor, poverty-stricken boy in the morning, Tom was literally rolling in wealth. He had, besides the things before mentioned, 12 marbles, parts of a Jew's harp, a piece of blue bottle glass to look through, a spool cannon, a key that wouldn't unlock anything, a fragment of chalk, a glass stopper of a decanter, a tin soldier, a couple of tadpoles, 6 firecrackers, a kitten with only one eye, a brass doorknob, a dog collar but no dog, a handle of a knife, 4 pieces of orange peel, and a dilapidated old window sash. He had had a nice, good, idle time all the while, plenty of company, and the fence had 3 coats of whitewash on it. If he hadn't run out of whitewash, he would have bankrupted every boy in the village. The boy mused a while over the substantial change which had taken place in his worldly circumstances, and then wended toward headquarters to report.